perfect. It's such a perfect segue for the next question I have for you, and this is something I've been thinking about a lot, and I'm going to be discussing it in the book as well, which is this issue of timing, this issue of kind of when to be digging into, kind of learning more about yourself, understanding more, kind of figuring things out, when to just really be in action, when to kind of just like get kind of organized, get disciplined, like move forward quickly, and then when to kind of let go completely and just like flow and be in the rhythm of things. So maybe you can talk a little bit about that, because I think that I've just noticed that if I'm in the wrong phase, if I'm trying to be in like the go phase and it's time to like learn something or let go, then it's a problem.
Swimming upstream versus going with the flow.
Yeah.
That's what I really love about astrology.
Yeah.
So astrology is really an awesome tool for timing because every planet represents a different area of your life. This is what I find so fascinating. Like Venus is the planet of love, and it moves into a different zodiac sign about every month or so. Or Jupiter, which rules expansion, changes signs every 12 to 13 months. So for a whole year, you have this cycle where, depending on what part of your chart Jupiter is traveling through, maybe it's your home sector, maybe it's your career sector, maybe it's your relationship or fitness. That's going to be an area where there's opportunity to expand. Or Saturn, which is restriction and kind of the harder growth where you have to pay your dues. Wherever Saturn is, that's where you might have a little bit of an uphill battle.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, so we really try to point that out in our horoscopes in very practical terms.
Yeah.
We don't say, oh, this will happen, but we'll say, you might want to work on this, and maybe this is the time to go to a therapist or a coach or a nutritionist, or this is a time to take a chance here. This is maybe not the time, lay low until this time. Yeah,
I'm thinking you guys can relate to this, because it often seems, I know for people that I work with as a coach and as a somatic integrator, there seems to be these times when people, certain things in their life are just going gangbusters, and then there's always like an area or two that just seem to be not working, and then people think, well, that's not good, and I've got to work with that. But actually sometimes it's not the time to work with that. It's actually the time to let that simmer for a bit, and this sounds like maybe part of why that's happening.
Absolutely. Yeah. And another thing I really strongly encourage is, like, anybody can learn this. I'm very anti-guru and gurufication.
That's where we really resonate.
Like, I know this stuff because I've obsessed over it. But actually, my sister and I even created a course that now we're going to be offering online so anyone can download it. Called Become Your Own Astrologer.
Amazing.
Because these tools are there for everybody. I'm not interested in being a guru, but if you don't feel like learning this stuff, I'm happy to interpret it, because I'm going to be obsessing over it anyway. So feel free, I'll digest it for you. But, just know that you too could learn this, and, this is... We once had a conversation, I think, in my kitchen once about cyclical living. People used to live by the cycles. And astrology is, the moon, the new moon, the full moon. There's a lot of planting and hunting and fishing and all that. It's just going back to, it's already encoded in us. When I do readings for people, it's not like they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that. A lot of times they're like, oh. It's actually like this feeling of like a recognition, a validation, a coming home.
The way that I think about that is it's not a learning, it's actually a remembering. It's kind of like, actually, that was already there, so I remember that, rather than, I need to learn something new. Sometimes it's just about pausing and remembering. So I think that's really great. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, but we can all be interpreters for each other, because what goes on between our ears gets very jumbled. When someone reflects it back to you, or the system, like what you do, or like the stars, whatever your chosen system is, to make sense of what's happening or who you really are, then it's just so useful to have one.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely. One last thing, just before we kind of wrap up. I'm really interested in, part of this project is really about involving people with the material. So we're going to be, on these teleseminars in the beginning of the year. People are going to be putting these principles into use in their life, and I'm going to see that actually happens, and we're going to kind of, we're going to gauge that, and we're going to rate that and see how that happens. So I'm wondering, I know that you guys have recently expanded. You're now doing, not only are you doing these online classes where people are learning about, but you also do retreats now where people are coming and spending a weekend with these guys in beautiful places like Tulum. So as you're doing that, and as you're seeing, I don't know if you've been talking to people since then, but how do people end up putting the work that the information that you're providing them, the tools that you're providing them, into use in their life? How do you notice that they're able to do that, and when do they do it well, and maybe when do they do it not so well?
Sure. Well, one of our motto is we bring the stars down to earth. So one of our very big principles, and when we write, is that it has to be practical. So we'll say, oh, okay, Jupiter is going through your 4th house of home and family, and we're not going to just leave it at that. We're going to say, we give very specific suggestions. My sister and I have done a lot of coaching. We're Sagittarians, so we love to learn. So you name a class, we've probably taken it in the personal growth field. So we like to really suggest that. We get letters a lot from people say, oh, I read this book and it actually changed my life, this book you suggested or whatever.
Just inside of their...
inside of their... They literally do go out and buy the books or sometimes sign up for the classes and workshops that we suggest, which is, you know... I feel like the people that are drawn to our horoscopes really do want to have coaching and better their lives.
Yeah.
More and more, you know, the world has become more uncertain and people are realizing it's sort of a silver lining that they need to step it up and know themselves. Those who don't know themselves, you know, may get ahead for a little while. But
kind of by accident.
You know, like if you're a part of that 1% silver spoon world, then good for you. Don't self-examine. No, actually do. But, you know, the rest of us need to do that work.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
To kind of stay afloat.
Yeah,
so.
cool.
Yeah.
And if people want more in-depth work with you, they can sign up for one-on-one sessions with you guys?
They can do readings. They can follow our horoscopes for free. We've got a whole library of ebooks, an upcoming retreat.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've
Really
got our
good.
parenting book, Mom's Astrology,
When's that
coming
one
out
due? Yeah.
April 2014.
Okay, their book will be coming out just before mine, so that's exciting.
Oh, cool.
We've got 2 new books coming
It's out
your
already
way.
then.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Really cool. That's fantastic. Well, Ophi, thank you so much for taking the time. It's beautiful to speak with you, and I knew we'd have a lot to talk about. It's been
As
really
always.
fun. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
All right, bye, guys.
Bye.